Hey guys, this is Rihanna. This is my feedback video on the Generation Beauty event. Okay, the first thing that I wanted to say was that Generation Beauty was an awesome event. I went the previous year and I definitely like this year better. I met a lot of cool YouTubers. There was a lot of great swag. I did feel like the swag was better than it was last year. There was a lot of pros and there was some cons to the event, so I'm going to just share that with you guys really quickly. All right, so rewind back, going back to day one. All right, so day one, I get there a little bit late. I kind of arrived there at the same time around the time that I arrived in the previous year. So when I get there, the line starts from the beginning and it's already kind of going around the area where the tent is, which is on the bottom, is what I'm talking about, right? So I get there, I waiting in line for a couple of hours. I already saw the brands in advance, and so I knew that my first plan was going to go to the Makeup Forever booth. And so I got in line and I got to the Makeup Forever booth, so I was almost one of maybe like the last 10 people in line. I ended up getting my foundation match, and everything was pretty cool, and I was excited to get my foundation. So I went over next to the Belief booth, and so it ended up being like a half hour wait. And by the time I got out of that one, all the other booths started getting crowded. And so I spent my time throughout the day just going to different booths and stuff like that because I kind of already figured that there is no way I was going to be able to make it to the other big booths. The other big booths were Tarte, Smashbox, Benefit, Too Faced. So you kind of already know how big those brands were. And so I got my stuff done, and I saw like a few YouTubers running around. I saw Michelle from Ready Set Glamour, and I took a selfie with her. And then I also wanted to get into the meetup with Maddie Wan, Factor Star. So I waited in line for about an hour at the Benefit booth, and I was like one of the last two rows of people in line. And so they ended up shutting down the booth. And some people were really disappointed. And it was crazy because Benefit was like, oh, like, you guys need to back up because people were really upset and they still wanted to take a picture with, Manny and Patrick. After that happened, some people apologized and they ended up giving some of us some hula bronzers and saying, oh, we're sorry, but, they're on a limited time and they have to go, blah, blah, blah. So that happened, and after that happened, I was kind of disappointed or whatever. So I just started going around to different booths and stuff like that, and got the rest of the stuff, and it kind of weeded out by the end of the day. I will say this is that the best lines of the day were probably to get the swag bag that Ipsy gives you, and also the little bag that they gave you. Now I know a lot of people kind of had like mixed feelings about the Ipsy bag that people gave you, because what happened was in the past they gave you tote bags for all your swag, and so some people brought some on their own and everything else, and so it was kind of a bit of a bit of panic with people. Now we're gonna fast forward to day two because there's more with day two. So I get in line about between 7:30 and 8 in the morning. And what ends up happening is that it's cold, it's raining, and it's just crazy. It's like, I don't know, like 50 degrees or something like that. And so I end up waiting in line for about another 4 hours because since I heard that the Too Faced were giving out the chocolate bonbon palettes or chocolate bar, I wanted to get there and also knock out, Benefit and NYX as well. So when I got there, we waited in line and I met some pretty awesome YouTubers who were chopping it up. And one of them, I believe her name is Jess Makeup. She was very nice and open, and she ended up buying me and the girl next to her some Starbucks. Fast forwarding to opening the door. So I was happy because I got Too Faced, Benefit, and NYX knocked out, right? And I was really, really happy about that. And the lines moved very swiftly, and I got some other small booths that I didn't get a chance to get the previous day. And then again, there was the catastrophe with the whole Makeup Forever booth. And so what happened with the Makeup Forever booth is it didn't matter if you were standing in line or just passing by, the line was out of control. I actually have video of that, just recording the experience, but so many people were upset because the line kept closing down and not everybody ended up getting their foundation. I'm happy that I made the plan the first day because I didn't know that Makeup Forever was gonna shut down constantly, but I guess it was in more demand as opposed to the Too Faced booth. And so when I got there, I ran into the people that I ran in yesterday, and everything was pretty cool. And then towards the end of the day, I was so happy because I heard that Manny Ma and Patrick Star were going to show up. So I ended up buying like a little brush from Crown Brush, and they show up at the Oprah booth. And it was hilarious because Manny and Patrick went from the Oprah booth over to the Benefit booth. And so it was funny. And so some people kind of started rushing over there, and they're like, no, no pictures. This is not going to be a meetup and everything else. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's fine, right? So I accepted the fact that I wasn't going to be able to take a picture of Manny and Patrick, and I was over it. So then I started walking towards the back to see what else was going to be going on and happening. And, I got my swag bag for the second day. And so I end up accidentally bumping into Manny and Patrick's Top Flight security. Yes, Top Flight security. The guys in the suit that kind of look like the Secret Service. I'm not talking about the little copy type of things. Anyways, enough about that. So I ended up bumping into one of their securities by accident because obviously I wasn't looking. And then suddenly the security guard out of nowhere says, everybody start forming a line. And Manny and Patrick started doing another photo op for people. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my God. It's so weird because for some reason, I found out more over YouTube stars, and I met actual celebrities, and I'm kind of more chill when I met actual celebrities. Maybe because YouTubers are kind of a little bit more personal with their lives. Like, I don't know what it is, but it was pretty cool. So I gave both Manny and Patrick a hug. And I told Manny, I said, it's so cool that you're from San Diego, 619 and everything else. I don't know why I said the area code, but it was pretty brief. But I felt like, like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, oh my God. Anyways, so everything is concluding. It's the end of the event and everything else. Everything went good. The cons to the event is I kind of felt like it was pretty much line con. I've been doing conventions and events for years, and so I'm kind of used to it. But for people who are not used to it, I kind of felt bad for them in the sense. The thing that I think that they may need to improve with the event is that they may need to get a bigger venue, maybe have a separate meetup space, because some of the booths you couldn't even tell if they were purchased or if they were doing giveaways or whatever. It was kind of out of control. But then also I think that for next year, they really do need to extend their hours, because if you didn't even have that many booths to go through, if you had, like, say for example, like 20 booths and it took you 2 days to get through it, it's kind of a little bit crazy, because the hours on the first day, I believe, were from 11 to 5, and then the second day was from 11 to 3, and that doesn't give you very much time. I did end up meeting some people, and I did end up expressing that to them, because overall the event is pretty good, and Ipsy and their sponsors are pretty generous and everything else. Would I go next year? Of course I would go next year. I just hope that they end up improving the situation with the Lions and stuff like that. But thank you guys for hearing my feedback. If you want to see my haul video, it will be linked down in the description box below. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.